Good afternoon, folks. Jordan here with the Nutty Gnome Homestead. Today, it's early June. We're out here in our garden, and I'm going to show you two different ways of how we fertilize our plants. This is going to be a two-part series. The first way is going to be probably the most common, what most folks are going to be able to do. We're going to be using a synthetic fertilizer. Now, I do mostly organic. However, years ago, we used to use this, and it does work well. And I'm going to show you guys my method on how we do this. A lot of people will complain that if they fertilize their plants, the plants don't look that good for a while. Most of that is going to be attributed to fertilizer burn. You're adding too much fertilizer to the plant at one time, and it's going to be hard for the plant to uptake. It's going to be too much of a stressor on the plant, and it's going to be very hard to recover from that. So I'm going to show you guys how we do this properly and without getting fertilizer burn to get the most out of your garden. Now, a lot of synthetic fertilizers use salts as a medium for the plants. I don't like this method. We have switched over to organic for the majority of our gardening, but I am going to show you guys, for those of you that only have a chance to do it this way, or you can't do it organically. So what you're going to want to do is find you a bag of synthetic fertilizer, something I prefer complete, something with all three numbers that are about the same. 12, 12, 12 is what I'm using today. And we're going to show you on these cabbage that we have here how we would fertilize them with these pellets or granules of a synthetic fertilizer. So let me turn you guys around here and I'll show you what we're dealing with. Okay, so we have some cabbage here. A lot of them are starting to put on some heads. I've taken the row covers off. And cabbage are heavy feeders. So, not unlike people, they like to eat multiple times throughout the growing season. Folks like to eat multiple times a day. Plants like to eat multiple times a day as well. Instead of giving them one shot, a big heavy dose of fertilizer all at once, we're going to feed them multiple times throughout the growing season. So, we have our cup of granules here, you guys can see. Now, just as a note, if you put these in a bucket of water, these will dissolve. So if you want to administer the fertilizer that way, you can. All the packages are different. You're just going to have to do your own research and read your own labels. So all we're going to do is we're going to side dress these cabbages. And we're only going to do about 2 tablespoons of our 12, 12, 12 pelletized fertilizer per cabbage. So all we're going to do is we're going to gently lift some of the bottom leaves, pick off any of the dead ones, and we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of granules around each of the plants. And what that does is it gives it just enough feed to get it through for about a month, maybe a little longer. I will like to fertilize about once a month, sometimes twice, depending on if I'm using the organic stuff. I find it does do a lot better than giving it all just one big shot of fertilizer. Now let me bring you guys over here, and I'm going to show you some more of these cabbage. So they're putting on some heads. They're starting to look real nice. They're firming up. These will be about 2 to 3 pound heads of cabbage. So all you're going to do is lift up a leaf and give it a little shot of the fertilizer. You can even use your hands if you want. I'm not a big fan of putting it on your hands because it is a salt. Give it all just a little bit of fertilizer. Mix it in with the soil just a little bit. You don't have to get it all incorporated. And that's all there is. We'll fertilize this again at the first of next month. Then these guys are going to be ready to pick. So, say you guys have a couple peppers you want to fertilize with the synthetic fertilizer as well. We're still using our exact same 12, 12, 12 granules. And all you're going to do is you're going to come in here and give it a couple of little shakes. I like to do this about once a month per plant. And that is all there is to fertilizing your plants here with a synthetic fertilizer. Now, I like to do this right before rain or right before I water. Like I said, most of your fertilizers like this, especially the ones that are in the little granules, are some sort of salt. So they will deplete your soil over time, but if you put them on or put it in the ground right before rain, it helps dissolve it and the plants can take it up quicker. Like I said, we do try to do this about once a month per row whenever we used to do this. We have since switched over to all organic methods. This works well with your tomatoes, your peppers, cucumbers, cabbage, broccoli, so on and so forth. A little bit goes a long way. You hear people talk about fertilizer burn. That happens whenever you try to fertilize too much at one time. So if you're trying to put a half a cup or a full cup of this on your plants, there's a good chance that you could hurt your plant. Since we're only doing about 2 tablespoons, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons per plant once a month, you're not going to burn your plants. So that's how we fertilize our plants, using a synthetic fertilizer. If you guys like this kind of content, I'd appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, get out there, fertilize your plants. Whether you're using organic or synthetic, it's going to make your harvest a whole lot better.